Have you ever felt truly stuck? You're dealing with constant tiredness that doesn't go away with rest, stubborn weight around the middle that refuses to budge, foggy thinking that makes simple tasks feel hard, or irregular energy levels throughout the day, even after trying different approaches to balance your hormones. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone, and the issue might not be just one hormone out of place. Hormones often work in chain reactions. When one signal gets disrupted at the start, it ripples through the entire system, affecting everything downstream in ways that can feel overwhelming. Today, we're exploring the hormone chain reaction in detail, how imbalances usually begin upstream in the brain, your stress response, or your metabolism, and then trigger widespread issues like low thyroid function, PCOS-like symptoms, low energy and drive in men, or challenging menopausal transitions. This isn't about chasing quick fixes or single supplements. It's about truly understanding these connections so you can support your body in a more holistic, sustainable way. Let's break it down step by step, clearly and simply. First, the big picture. Your endocrine system is like a well-coordinated orchestra. The conductor is your brain, specifically the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, which sends precise signals to all the other glands like the thyroid, adrenals, ovaries, testes, and more. When the conductor, those upstream signals, gets thrown off balance due to chronic stress, inconsistent sleep, ongoing inflammation, or unstable blood sugar, the whole performance starts to suffer. Treating only the last instrument in the orchestra, like fixing one isolated hormone level with medication, often misses the real reason the music sounds off-key. Recent data really puts this into perspective and shows how widespread these interconnected issues are. Hypothyroidism affects roughly 5% of people over age 12, but rates climb much higher in women, up to 17% or more in some detailed studies focused on females. PCOS impacts about 10–13% of women of reproductive age worldwide, and sadly, a large number remain undiagnosed for years. Men's testosterone levels have shown noticeable generational declines, strongly linked to modern lifestyle factors rather than just aging. And insulin resistance now affects around 26–30% of adults globally, with even higher numbers in many populations due to diet and activity patterns. None of these are truly isolated problems, they're all connected through these chain reactions. Let's start with the two master regulators that influence almost everything else: the stress chain and the blood sugar chain. The stress chain begins with cortisol, your body's primary alert and survival hormone. Chronic stress, whether from long work hours, poor sleep quality, emotional pressures, family demands, or even excessive intense exercise, activates the HPA axis, hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal pathway. Cortisol rises quickly to provide emergency energy, but when it stays elevated for weeks, months, or longer, it starts disrupting other hormones. It can make blood sugar unstable, slow down thyroid hormone conversion, suppress reproductive hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, and even encourage the body to store fat as a protective, survival mode response. Research clearly shows that prolonged high cortisol is closely linked to increased inflammation and poor sleep patterns, which then feed back and make the entire cycle worse. Next comes the blood sugar chain, which is equally powerful. When you regularly consume lots of refined carbs, sugary foods, or even hidden sugars in processed items, it causes sharp blood sugar spikes. This triggers a big release of insulin to move glucose into cells. Over time, cells become less responsive, that's insulin resistance, so insulin stays chronically high to compensate. This process drives fat gain, especially stubborn abdominal fat, and sends signals to the ovaries or adrenals to produce more androgens, male-like hormones. It also interferes with thyroid efficiency and overall sex hormone balance. Studies show insulin resistance is now widespread, driven largely by modern eating habits and sedentary lifestyles, not purely by genetics. These two chains, cortisol and insulin, act like the upstream starting points or first dominoes. Once they tip, they influence nearly every other hormone downstream. For example, take thyroid function. Many assume low thyroid always starts directly in the thyroid gland, but in most cases, it's actually secondary. The brain senses ongoing stress, inflammation, or nutrient gaps and dials down TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, resulting in lower T4 output from the thyroid. Then the crucial conversion of inactive T4 into active T3, which your cells actually use, occurs mostly in the liver and gut, two areas that are highly sensitive to stress, poor diet choices, or microbiome imbalances. The end result: sluggish metabolism, persistent fatigue, cold hands and feet, and weight challenges, even when labs appear normal after starting medication. The true root is often those upstream signals, not the thyroid itself. For women experiencing PCOS-related symptoms, irregular or missing cycles, persistent acne, unwanted hair growth, or fertility difficulties, the chain very frequently starts with insulin. Elevated insulin directly stimulates the ovaries to overproduce androgens, which disrupts normal ovulation and causes progesterone levels to drop. This imbalance leads to relative estrogen dominance, which amplifies many of the frustrating symptoms. Importantly, research notes that a majority of women with PCOS show insulin resistance even when they maintain a normal body weight, proving it's primarily a metabolic signaling issue first, not just an ovarian one. In men dealing with low testosterone, the patterns look very similar. Chronic stress combined with poor or insufficient sleep suppresses key hypothalamic signals, GnRH, which reduces LH and FSH release from the pituitary, leading to lower testosterone production in the testes. At the same time, insulin resistance increases aromatase activity, converting available testosterone into estrogen. This contributes to fatigue, loss of muscle tone, increased belly fat, reduced motivation, and lower libido. Recent studies link a significant portion of the generational drop in average testosterone levels to these lifestyle-related factors, rising obesity rates, chronic sleep debt, and environmental exposures. During perimenopause and menopause, the ovaries naturally slow down estrogen and progesterone production, and the body begins shifting some of that role to the adrenal glands and peripheral fat tissue. But if the adrenals are already overburdened from years of chronic stress, this transition becomes much harder, leading to intensified symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, sleep disturbances, brain fog. An unexpected weight gain. It's rarely just low estrogen, it's the body's adaptive system struggling because of upstream overload. So how can you begin supporting these chain reactions in a positive direction? Research and real-world experiences consistently point toward addressing the upstream factors first, the things that help reset those foundational signals naturally over time. Prioritize sleep and daily rhythms. Consistently aim for 7-9 hours of quality, restorative sleep each night. Poor sleep directly lowers testosterone, elevates cortisol, and worsens insulin sensitivity. Simple habits like maintaining fixed wake and sleep times, reducing blue light exposure in the evening, and creating a calm pre-bed routine can powerfully reset your circadian signals. Movement is another key piece. Incorporate resistance training, such as lifting weights or bodyweight exercises, a few times per week, along with moderate daily activity like brisk walking. These improve insulin sensitivity, help preserve or build muscle, which supports metabolism, and assist in naturally regulating cortisol levels. The important part is balance. Avoid pushing too hard with excessive high-intensity sessions if you're already stressed, as that can backfire. Diet is one of the most impactful ways to stabilize both chains. Emphasize whole, nutrient-dense foods. Include quality protein at every meal. Think eggs, wild-caught fish, lean meats or legumes, plenty of fiber-rich vegetables and low-glycemic fruits, especially berries and leafy greens, and healthy fats, avocados, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, and seeds. These choices naturally slow blood sugar rises, minimize insulin spikes, and supply essential building blocks for hormone production. Specific supportive foods include Brazil nuts for selenium, pumpkin seeds for zinc, and fatty fish for omega-3s, all of which research links to better thyroid and reproductive hormone support. At the same time, dramatically limiting refined sugars, processed carbs, and frequent snacking helps break the insulin chain. For stress management, which directly calms cortisol, incorporate simple daily practices, deep breathing exercises, short nature walks, journaling thoughts, or mindfulness moments. Also, intentionally build margin into your schedule, unscheduled time for rest, hobbies, or just doing nothing. This prevents the constant fight-or-flight mode that keeps the stress chain active. Don't overlook gut health as a major upstream player. A thriving microbiome supports efficient T4 to T3 conversion and helps reduce systemic inflammation that disrupts hormone signals. Including fermented foods, plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and diverse fiber sources makes a noticeable difference for many. Certain adaptogenic herbs, like ashwagandha or rhodiola, have been studied for their role in helping the body adapt to stress and maintain better cortisol balance. Nutrients such as magnesium, found in foods or quality supplements, also promote deeper relaxation and improved sleep quality. The core takeaway here: stop fixating solely on one low hormone number on a lab report. Instead, step back and ask, what's disrupting the brain signals at the source? Is it ongoing stress overload, frequent blood sugar swings, chronic sleep debt, or hidden inflammation? When you address those upstream pieces with consistency, you often see positive ripples flowing downstream to multiple areas. This chain reaction perspective completely changes how we approach hormone health, moving from isolated band-aids to genuinely supporting the entire interconnected system. Countless people report feeling more consistent energy, clearer thinking, improved mood stability, and easier body composition management once they start focusing here. Results aren't instant, but with steady habits, they build powerfully over weeks and months. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you want more content breaking down natural health connections like this. And leave a quick comment below. Which part of the chain, stress, blood sugar, sleep, or something else, do you think might be playing the biggest role for you right now? I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video.